Hi everyone, and welcome to today's morning report on Tuesday the 26th of August with me, Richard Perry, Market Analyst at Handtech Markets. The European markets have started just slightly on the back foot actually, a little bit of profit taking after certainly some strong moves yesterday that were seen following on from some fairly accommodative rhetoric from Mario Draghi at the Jackson Hole speech yesterday on Friday actually. And the Wall Street markets closed nicely higher, strongly higher. The S&P 500 hitting 2,000 for the first time ever, closed just below there, but certainly that is a psychological breach by the S&P 500, so a strong move there that we've seen, but just a little bit of profit taking. The FTSE 100 is slightly higher today as it played catch up on the back of the fact that it was closed yesterday for the bank holiday. What we're seeing in terms of currency moves is a little bit of consolidation actually, and that consolidation is coming ahead of a pretty important meeting we've got between Vladimir Putin and Petro Poroshenko today for the Ukraine. They're meeting to try and diffuse these tensions that have blighted the eastern Ukraine in recent months, and certainly had a big impact on these markets. And certainly the outcome of this meeting today could well drive the markets in the next day or so. So very important that we keep on top of how this meeting pans out today, and what actually the impact is on the markets. In terms of what we're looking at on the dollar, we've actually had a nice rise on the dollar in recent weeks, and we're actually now back towards that 82.6 key resistance level that we saw back from September, and September is a key level on several of these FX pairs. Actually, you'll notice as we look through the charts, and just turning a slightly lower, a little bit of profit taking just underneath that low, that September level of 82.6. So interesting move on the dollar index there. In terms of VIX volatility, slight bottoming out in the last couple of days, you could argue, as the moves unwind and the geopolitical tensions just take a bit of a backseat role. But certainly, as I said earlier, keep an eye on this meeting between Putin and Poroshenko, and if it does go the wrong way, then perhaps you could certainly see that VIX index flying higher again. Once again, it will have to keep close attention on that. In terms of what we're looking at in terms of data today, we've got the US durable goods at 130. Certainly forecast for a nice gain actually, depending on which consensus estimates you look at, anything between a 5% and a 7% improvement on those on the durable goods numbers. That would be a strong gain for the month. And then this afternoon at 3 o'clock, you've got the US consumer confidence, which will be a very much looked at indicator. Certainly, that strong rise that we've seen in the last few months may well have a bit of a dip. Actually, 89.0 is the expectation there, so slightly off the highs that we've seen, of multi-year highs. So we'll see how that one plans out at 3 o'clock. So moving on to my chart of the day, it's FTSE 100 actually, and FTSE, as I said earlier, is playing catch up. It's had this rebound. This is on the hourly chart. You'll see that jump early on, but if you look on the daily chart and just take a little bit of a step back, really, you can see over the past few months it's been very choppy. No real moves. Any sort of gain or loss that it sees over the course of a week or maybe two is then retraced and entirely just undone. So the fact is that we've seen now that entire downside move that we saw in early August almost now entirely retraced. But you've obviously also got these key lower highs that throughout this chart since May, since we hit that high of 6985. Sorry, 6895. My apologies. And a series of key lower highs there. So that lower high that we saw in early August came at 6834, and if it's interesting because if it breaks above that, that could be a change of tack for the FTSE. But certainly at the moment, you're actually back to the resistance of that primary uptrend that had been in place on FTSE. And that primary uptrend could now become the basis of resistance. And certainly, interestingly, early on, 6815 has hit pretty much bang on that primary uptrend and fallen away. So it'll be interesting to see if that's the limit. In terms of also the RSI, you're back to a level around 60, where all of the recent rallies have actually fallen over since May as well. So it'd be very interesting to see if now this rally also runs out of steam here, because certainly the moves on this chart over the last few months have been very truncated, very much down and then up, down and then up, and it'd be interesting to see if this up phase begins to run out of steam and starts to fall away again. The moving averages are not showing anything, because obviously in a sideways moving market, moving averages become almost redundant as indicators, but certainly these momentum indicators are showing that this is a continuation of a range play that we've got going on, and up around 60 is the limit of where the rallies have hit. So that could be the limit of this FTSE rally. Anyway, if we break above that 6,834, then that could certainly have a change of outlook, but at the moment there's a big barrier ahead. Anyway, I wish you good luck in your trading today, and I will speak to you later. Thank you.